News here on One News Now. I'm Pauline Verzosa. Suspended Bamban-Tarlac Mayor Alice Guo will skip again the Senate hearing on POGOs today. In her letter to Senator Risa Ontiveros, Guo said she is not physically and mentally fit to attend the hearing. She added that medical professionals refuse to issue a medical certificate for fear that they will also experience humiliation from the public. However, Senate President Chis Escudero insisted that Guo has no choice but to attend the hearing because a subpoena was served against her.
Kapag ka nag-issue ng subpoena, yan ay under compulsion of law na tinatawag. Ibig sabihin, wala sa kapasahan niya kung siya'y mag-a-attend o hindi. Kung hindi sila dadalo, nasa kamay ni Senator Risa kung siya'y magre-request na mag-issue ng warrant of arrest para sila'y pwersahang padaluhin sa pagdinig ng Senado. At pipirmahan ko ang warrant of arrest na yun.
Alice Guo's legal counsel, Nicole Hamilla, says they are aware of the repercussions of skipping the July 10 Senate hearing. Here's an excerpt from her interview on The Big Story.
Mayor Guo has been absent for weeks. She has not been seen in her farm. Is she still in the Philippines? And is there a possibility that your camp's mind would change? Because Senator Chis Escudero said that they might issue an arrest order.
On the exact location of the mayor, I'm sorry, I'm bound by the lawyer-client privilege. But what I can say is that at the end of the day, the decision is always hers. The opinion or the options or the remedies, we just provide them as lawyers. We give them the options, and it's up to her naman talaga. So who knows? Malay natin, biglang magbago isip din niya tomorrow. Kasi I think it's the hearing tomorrow is at 10 a.m. So we do not know. Kasi as we speak, we already gave them, or we already gave her yung options nga na available, and at the same time, the possible risks or the consequences. We already discussed that with them. Nakita or sinabi na namin kay Mayor na ito yung mga possible na, of course, in case nga na sakaling hindi makapag-comply sa subpoena, we are aware that the Senate has the power to issue contempt order. And as a consequence, she might be or issued also a warrant of arrest. So we don't know actually kung mali natin tomorrow before the hearing magbago din naman ang isip niya.
A prosecutor lawyer reiterated that the arrest warrant against those involved in the bloody war on drugs will be served within the year. International Criminal Court or ICC Assistant to Counsel Attorney Cristina Conti told Storycon that the serving of the arrest warrant is going to be confidential. She and the other ICC lawyers are still looking for ways on how to serve the arrest warrant. Conti also expressed concerns on the appointment of Police Colonel Lito Patay as the new Davao City Police Chief. When he was the head of the Batasan Station in Quezon City, Patay recorded the highest number of drug killings in the first year of the previous Duterte administration.
Ako confident ako that it will come within the year. My problem is, or yung pinapasolve sa amin, paano siya masiserve? And the development that Lito Patay, one of the implementors, one of the worst recorded violators during the war on drugs, is now Davao City Police Chief. So that is concerning for us.
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Pauline Verzosa. Several areas in the country may experience rains in the next 24 hours. The Intertropical Convergence Zone, or ITCZ, may trigger scattered rains. Affected areas include Metro Manila, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, Bicol, and Western Visayas. Isolated rains, meanwhile, are expected over the rest of Visayas and Mindanao. The easterlies may also bring scattered rains over central Luzon, while the rest of Luzon may expect isolated rains due to localized thunderstorms. As calls to ban pogos increase, NEDA and the Labor Department have started studying the potential economic impact of a total ban. Here's the report.
If you ask Socio-Economic Planning Secretary Arsenio Balisacan, it would be better to ban pogos in the Philippines, despite the possibility of losing up to 20 billion pesos in annual revenue, according to the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation, or PAGCOR. The calls to ban pogos in the Philippines once again intensified after a series of videos showing the torture of its workers were released. In addition, there were also numerous crimes and scams connected to its illegal operations.
It may be a big number, but the cost and particularly social cost of pogos are quite high. And also we are trying to position our country as a legitimate place for business where we are trying to attract investors to come, tourists to come, and so the least that we want is to have a reputation na nandito yung mga criminals.
Balisacan emphasizes that the possible loss of revenue from pogos can be recovered through other means. Finance Secretary Ralph Recto has said that he is keen in recommending to the president to halt the operations of pogos, given the recent issues surrounding the industry. However, the cabinet has not yet discussed the banning of pogo. Senate Deputy Minority Leader Risa Ontiveros had called on the Executive Department and the Senate leadership to act quickly on the recommendation to ban pogo. Other senators, including Senate President Chis Escudero, Senate President Pro Tempore Jinggoy Estrada, and Senator Loren Legarda, expressed support for the ban. For its part, the Labor Department is already conducting a profiling of more than 20,000 workers who might lose their jobs if pogo is banned. This involves assessing the skills or abilities of pogo workers to determine other jobs they would potentially enter.
We cannot actually just wait for the day na sinabing close na. Dapat nagtatransisyon na rin kami. Baka gusto na ninyong mag-start ng training ninyo nang sa ganun maihanda na namin kayo sa available na trabaho.
The profiling has already begun in Metro Manila, where PAGCOR has ordered that work from home is no longer allowed for pogo workers. This is to make it easier for DOLE to conduct inspections at offices and determine the legitimacy of operations. For News 5, Maricel Halili, We Are One News.
President Joe Biden is making a strong effort to convince Democrats he can win re-election. The fallout from his poor debate performance continues as Congress returns to Washington and new information about his health emerges. Here's the report.
Tonight, a defiant President Biden going on offense.
We're not going anywhere. I am not going anywhere.
The president increasingly under siege after his disastrous debate performance last month, calling in live to MSNBC amid the furious speculation and criticism about his age and fitness for office.
I wouldn't be running if I didn't absolutely believe that I am the best candidate to beat Donald Trump in 2024. We had a Democratic nominating process where the voters spoke clearly.
Biden asked about one particular statement he made last week that alarmed and angered many Democrats.
And if you stay in and Trump is elected and everything you're warning about comes to pass, how will you feel in January?
I feel as long as I gave it my all and I did the goodest job as I know I can do. That's what this is about.
The president playing cleanup, making clear losing is not an option.
What would you say to those who are concerned by that answer?
It's not an option, and I've not lost. I haven't lost. I beat him last time. I'll beat him this time.
But new questions tonight about the president's health dogging the White House after the New York Times reported that an expert on Parkinson's disease from Walter Reed had visited the White House 8 times in 8 months. CNN confirming that the neurologist met earlier this year at the White House with the president's physician. The White House refusing to say if that specialist was consulting about the president.
That's a very basic, direct question.
Wait. Hold on. Wait a second.
8 times, or at least once, in regards to the president specifically.
Hold on a second.
Not what you should be able to answer by this point.
Wait, no. No, wait a minute. Ed, please. A little respect here, please. So every year, around the president's physical examination, he sees a neurologist. That's 3 times. Right?
This as the Biden campaign and its top surrogates are trying to calm the nerves of voters, lawmakers, and donors.
For all the talk out there about this race, Joe has made it clear that he's all in.
The president calling into a meeting of donors on Monday, pledging to attack Trump much more aggressively in their next debate. And in a new letter to Democratic lawmakers, Biden refusing to back down, writing that he is firmly committed to staying in this race, to running this race to the end, and to beating Donald Trump.
And those are the top stories of the hour. I'm Pauline Verzosa. We are One News.